Raw Post Show. My name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the Ralph Report Wrestling Edition Raw Post Show. And yeah, what do you want to talk about? And let us talk to you tonight. And I am the revolutionary. I am the visionary. I am Ralph Williams, and acknowledge me. All right.
No, wait a minute. Acknowledge me.
Yeah, acknowledge Brian too. Acknowledge our website, or our my website, www.rwmediaproductions.com, and acknowledge Brian and Pensman. And here we are here. Here's Brian's right here, and Pensman. And don't forget to acknowledge their sites. There we go. There it is right there, Sports Break Media with Brian Pettit. Their Facebook pages, YouTube channels, all the social media platforms for all three of us here, because we all work together here. And as someone once told us in some other group we were involved in, everybody grows together. There you go. All right.
There you go.
And then Pensman Sports, don't forget to join him as well. Brian did a really good job yesterday on the NASCAR thing that was going on. Did a live stream with Pensman, and it was, I heard it was real good. I didn't tune in because I had other obligations going on, Brian. I apologize for that, but
you're fine. You're fine.
So, but anyway, I want to thank those who did participate in that. And look at your ticker tape at the bottom. If you're interested in any sponsorship advertising, please reach out to RalphWilliams737@gmail.com, which is also our mailbag address as well, if you have any comments that you want to add to the program. All right, Brian, tonight, once again, here we are. Brian Pettit from Sports Break Media. Brian, introduce yourself, and we'll get started with the show here.
Yeah, as you just read, my name is Brian Pettit, and I do Sports Break Media all throughout the platforms. Also, the podcast will be up tomorrow as soon as the day's over, whatever, 24 hours. We go for 24 hours. But anyway, you can find me on multiple platforms. On X's at 27 Sports Break. So that's the only one that's not correct. But other than that, everything else is Sports Break Media.
All right, Brian. Well, let's get started here with this Monday Night Raw tonight. And I knew this was going to be like this, Brian, because every time before a pay-per-view, the Raws and the SmackDowns are generic. They're trying to save the stars for the event. I get that. So from now on, it seems like before every, especially a major pay-per-view, it seems like WWE wants to save their wrestlers, and I don't blame them for their pay-per-views, so the shows stink. So, I mean, tonight kind of stunk up the joint a little bit. It smelled so bad. I didn't even know what I had to wear a gas mask. It smelled so bad. I mean, that was terrible. All right, but first, let's get started. Alpha Academy took on the Vision. You knew where this match was going.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah.
So we knew.
I think they need to do something with Alpha Academy, Brian. I'm tired of this. Some of the stunts that they're pulling with them. If they're not, you go and you cut Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the New Day. Sheamus, you let walk away. You let some good veteran people walk away. You make threats that they need to take a 50% pay cut. But you got two stooges, and again, they haven't done anything. What have they done, Otis and Cesaro? Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. They haven't done anything. They just made the characters and said,
yeah,
all right, like they always do, just throw somebody out there, and they're not really paying attention. I mean, where's their storyline going to go down to the future, because they don't have anything,
Exactly. So, but anyway, Alpha Academy, of course, they lost. Maxine Dupree got involved in the match. We know how that all.
Yeah, we know how that one went down.
Yeah, I'm not even going to go there because I really don't feel like it.
What did you think about the first thing where Brock Lesnar came out with him this afternoon?
Yeah, I was getting ready to talk about that in our notes segment. We can talk about that now. It started off with Brock Lesnar coming out he was supposed to go face to face with Obafemi. And the plan was to have Triple H moderate it, because they won't mess with Triple H like they mess with each other or with the other officials, because Triple H is the boss. And if you're going to mess with the boss, you're going to have a problem. So, just like I saw Triple H get in Gunther's face last week when they did the contract thing, or at SummerSlam kickoff when he told Gunther straight up, "I don't see it the way you do. You met with a man who's been in wrestling for a long, long time, and when you go and you do, so Triple H, even though he has a heart condition, still is not afraid to get in your face, and but I didn't expect the way it was done, but Brock was smart to do it that way because that turns into a combustible element right there.
I think it's gonna be, and I don't know if any stipulations, but do you think somebody can interfere? Do you think it's just gonna be a straight up bloodbath? Not a bloodbath.
Well, here's the rumors. Here's the rumors I'm hearing, Brian.
Okay.
And I'll tell you the rumors. I want to thank Paige for being part of the program.
Hey,
thank you, Paige. So there you go. Thank you, Paige, for being part of the program. And we got this Bot-Rex or whatever, Bot-Rex or whatever this is. Yeah,
it's mine.
So anyway, this is going to be, and here's the rumors I'm hearing, Brian.
Okay.
I'm hearing that Obafemi's going to lose the match. Brock's going to win, walk away in retirement, or he'll lose and walk away in retirement, whichever.
Yeah,
probably lose because Cena lost, AJ Styles lost. Everybody loses their last match when they go into retirement. All right.
Yeah, I think did Hulk Hogan win his last match, or no? He lost his match, didn't he?
Who?
Hulk Hogan. Did he lose his match years ago?
I think he did. Yeah.
So
he lost his match.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, as I mentioned, you always lose your last match with the WWE if you're retiring. So I'm assuming Brock could lose this match, and then Paul Heyman is going to go with Obafemi. He's done with division. He's going to go with Obafemi now. So
that's crazy.
That's the story I'm hearing. And if you see the intensity in Obafemi now, I've noticed that if he is hooked up with Paul Heyman or is going to be, his intensity is going to get even better. He's going to be a walking monster. Crazy. I mean, literally,
Oh yeah.
So,
but that would be a good match, though. There's going to be some good matches. I can see him going up against somebody bigger too.
Well, the only thing you could get any bigger that would come in right now is Braun Strowman coming back, or if they move Omos, they got Omos down in AAA, horsing around down there. He's wrestling there now. So it's interesting now how WWE now has 4 wrestling shows going on. They got the AAA one every Saturday, and then they got the that's on YouTube, and then they got the one who. No,
don't worry about that.
Yeah, I know. I see it there.
Yeah.
So, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, like I was saying before, now they got all these four different entities. You got NXT, you got the AAA, you got and the rest of it, and it's just crazy. Yeah, you know what, Voljeff, that could happen. That really could happen. Braun Strowman, there's rumors he is coming back. Because when Strowman was here before, Vince McMahon was running the ship. Now Triple H is running the ship.
I remember that.
And TKO and all that stuff. But the last time he was back, rumor had it he didn't show up on time for events. He wouldn't change in the locker room or something, or he did some things to piss some people off, I guess. He was a locker room cancer. That's the stories I heard. That's why they cut him the last time when he was here. But I'm hearing now they might bring him back, and if they do, I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll see. Triple H is always full of surprises, Brian.
Yeah, he is. He's always
got something going on.
And then you don't forget about Stephanie. She's a part of this too.
She is.
She's always there looking around like, okay, who are we going to get next now?
Yeah, there's been some crazy stuff on social media I want to talk about, Brian, real quick. They got, I don't know if you noticed or not, but Anthem Sports is trying to sell TNA. I hear they have a possible buyer, and the stories now, it's Vince McMahon and Shane are buying it now.
Again?
That's the biggest rumor going around right now. And
Are you
know,
serious?
so
We're gonna have Vince McMahon and Shane?
well, that's the rumor. I mean, there's nothing
goodness.
solid about that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But you know, because I hear Vince wants to get back into you know, that kind of thing. You know, so but yeah,
I recently got back into wrestling, so most of the news with the roster, I'm slowly getting into it. That's what he said. So yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
I am too. Don't feel bad. I'm getting back into it too. I've been gone for a couple of years now, but I'm trying to get back into it like you are too.
here's what I think of that rumor. Seriously, I mean, you know, I've had enough of it. That's what I think of that rumor. So you know, yeah. But anyway, like I said, you know,
yeah.
But anyhow, let's get back into the show here. But yeah, that Obafemi Brock Lesnar thing, that was the smartest thing he could have done. He had the cage there, and he was able to do some name calling and all that stuff and get Obafemi all upset. And you know what's interesting though? Once you get, oh yeah, there we go. Very good. Thank you for getting back into wrestling.
Yeah.
Because as we've said many times, most of the people I talk to right now, they don't even want to be involved in wrestling. More the folks more our age, Brian. They talk about Hulk Hogan. They talk about, you know, all them days. You know.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
You know, when wrestling was really, you know, WCW versus WWE. That was, you know, that was good. You know, so, but yeah. So anyway, that was a smart thing that could have happened actually. And Brock and Paul Heyman came up with a good game plan there. Now, here's the thing there, Brian. Brock could win this match, and you want to know why? Because I think he's in Oba's head. I think he's in Femi's head.
Yeah, I saw that tonight because Obi got really mad and he went off. And I don't know if you go watch the replay of the first little thing. I don't know if these were real cops or they were actually stunt.
No, I keep hearing rumors that they're independent wrestlers and stuff. Yeah, yeah. I keep hearing stories they're independent wrestlers. So,
yeah, I think they were because they didn't look like real cops, you know.
Oh yeah, that's when the Shield was really good. Yeah, exactly. Vodef, yeah, exactly. So, you know, I loved the Shield when they were around. I loved it when it was the Shield versus the Wyatt family or the Shield. They took on everybody and knocked out every faction or whatever that was around. You know, yeah, that was pretty good. They really dominate. They were a dominating faction. All right, let's get into our matches here. Alpha Academy, we already talked about that match. Javon Evans versus Rusev. Javon Evans actually beat him. I mean, he really beat Rusev. Rusev had him in that accolade a couple times, and Javon Evans got out of it. I got to give credit to this kid. He really has, he's come a long way. Dude, he's been competing in matches.
And I'll tell you this. His ceiling is way high, and he's quick. You got to watch out for his quickness. And he's got – I was watching him for the second time, and when he goes up on the ropes, you got to be careful because he can fly. And, you know, and some of these – and you could take this to a different point. Girls and guys now, they're young. They can do backflips, you know, of any – you know what I'm saying? You could do anything. They could do backflips, or they're gonna spring up their spring chickens, as you can call them. But yeah, he was actually good tonight. You know.
Okay, the comment we got here, Brian. I don't know that reason, but I do know. I do know that reason. I don't know that reason, but I have a pretty good idea why. And I've heard some news reports today on this comment that's here, but this is about wrestling tonight and Raw and WWE. This is not about the politics involving our country and Iran. We will talk about that Wednesday night at 7:30 on the Ralph's Opinion Show. That's when we will talk about that. So,
okay,
just to let everyone know. All right, all right. So hang on, Brian. Brian, I gotta do something here real quick. Hold on. Let me try to. I gotta move this table out of the way here for a minute. I gotta rearrange my studio here.
No, Brock Lesnar didn't come in there and mess it up, did he?
No, he didn't.
No, you sure?
But yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So, all right, we're good now. So, you know.
There you go.
Yeah, there we are. All right. So anyway,
we got the dog in the house now too.
Yeah, we got the dog. He's here. He's doing what he does best. Nothing.
There you go.
That's all right. But anyway, let's get back into this here. Javon Evans, we already discussed that. He fought Rusev tonight. He beat him. Ethan Page versus Rey Mysterio. What a waste of match. But
I thought Rey Mysterio just looked flat.
He's
getting older. He's getting
supposedly
older.
he's in his upper 40s. Supposedly, from what I'm the understanding, actually he's in his early 50s. And from what I'm the understanding, this is it for him. His contracts will be up, I think, either this year or next year. And right now, he's the general manager at AAA, and he's still considered retired, I guess. I don't know, or he's still a Hall of Famer. But for Ethan Page to win this match tonight, Ray was really off course tonight, Brian. I agree with you on that. He was really out of sync. I mean, so.
And also, what did you think about when he did the 360, and the guy just threw up the thing on him?
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. I've never seen that before, but hey, it worked.
Yeah, the 619 he does. Yeah,
the 619. So
well, Ray. The only good thing I like about Ray being the GM at AAA is he knows the wrestlers, he knows the competitors there, and one other thing too. Not only does he know the wrestlers and the competitors, his son is the mega champion or whatever down there, and I want him to stick at the Dom as much as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I want him to do. But Saturday, Dom Mysterio doing what he does best. Screwed El Grande Americano on Saturday at the real, the real whatever.
He's got any idea when Ray will have his last with whom? When will be his last match or his last hurrah? I was told this is his last contract. That's what I was told. I've heard
and
that
then and then they'll sign him to a Legends contract, which means he'll show up on part-time basis like Cena did and all that stuff. And I heard he's gonna probably be he may still be the GM of AAA, just sign a contract, but he can't wrestle. So he has his own wrestling gym. In fact, he has a couple of them, I think. And so he does that, and plus he does his duties with the WWE. And who knows, maybe he's doing some training at the Performance Center with some of these guys. And I know he's very heavily involved with the Lucha Libre. Yeah, exactly. And he's very heavily involved in that. So we'll see what goes on with Ray's future. Okay, next. The final match, or of course, there's only been 4 matches lately anyway. Yeah. This was a miscarriage of justice here, and I blame Jessica Carr, the referee, for this. She should have been. I mean, as soon as they hit the ring, Roxanne Perez and the champ Liv Morgan should have been immediately ejected. No questions asked, ejected. Jessica Carr is supposed to be one of the better referees for the women's division, and what happens? Here we are. What I mean?
Here we are with a new champ.
We got Raquel Rodriguez in the Judgment Day laughing all the way to their clubhouse.
I know. That's just, that's the. I mean, it was just crazy how it kind of ended.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, full deaf. So I hope you feel better.
That's right.
Send some prayers out to you.
Yeah, so, but that match was the best match of all. The girls was the best match. Yeah, that match right there. Yeah. So Ruka, when she busted Raquel's nose, I thought Raquel was done because I don't know if a lot of people noticed or not. Raquel's was off for a couple of years. She had some kind of face disease, some kind of skin disease in her face, and she had to get her whole face reconstructed. And it took forever for it to, I guess, for the face to come around again or whatever. However that works, I have no idea. I'm not a doctor of that kind, but. And she basically was, had to get her whole, her whole face redesigned and all that or whatever, fixed up. But I mean, it's like I said a while ago, these girls and guys that are young, they're hitting their stuff. And you notice one thing also, Ralph, I didn't know if you watched it. some of the girls and the guys were missing their marks a little bit on their stunts that they usually do. You know?
Yeah, I got you. All right, Volchev. Well, yeah, I get you. I understand what you're saying now. Yeah. All right, guys. All right, everybody. Let's move on here. Danhausen and Joe Hendry came out. They did their little song. That was a cool song they did.
It was a cool song. I was actually having fun.
Yeah, that was a cool song until Judgment Day had to come out and break it up. JD McDomo and Dirty Dom and
By the way, what's his name's going to be cursed next?
Who? JD McDomo?
Yeah,
or Dirty Dom?
I think he'll be. No,
yeah, both of them.
I think both of them will be cursed somehow, some way.
Yeah, they have to be.
On them. They're going to have to.
Yeah, they have to be. All right, the Usos and Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys and LA Knight, they had their little scuttlebutt there or whatever they were doing. And, we knew that was going to happen. That wasn't going to be peaceful of any kind, so. But anyway, here's
Danhausen.
He does. Oh, yeah, everybody loves Danhausen. I love it's Danhausen. Cool. I'm friends with former WCW squash wrestler. And what I mean by a squash wrestler was he was involved in squash matches. And his name is Bob Cook. And I've had him on my wrestling show. I've had him on my one-on-one show when I had that. And Bob told me that he knows Danhausen. And Danhausen is really a good wrestler, but if you know how to use him properly. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And Danhausen seems like, but AEW, kind of wasted his talent a little bit. And then when he went into the independents for a little while before he came to the WWE, he was in the independents for a little bit. And I'll tell you what, they were selling out independent cards because of him. And I mean, he's not only good at comics, but he's also good at wrestling. He is a good wrestler. Bob Cook told me that specifically. And Bob's wrestled with Harley Race, Ric Flair back in the old WCW days. He was a squash match wrestler. He did all the squash matches, so.
Yeah, just like the Dudley Boys, they were in a kind of when they were young, because I got to meet them when they were young, when they first started out. That was kind of cool when I met them, and they showed us some tricks when we were at work one time. So yeah, I know how that is. So yeah, but
yeah, well, they went to I met Bubba Ray or Bully Ray or whatever.
Bubba Ray.
Yeah, Bubba Ray, Bully Ray, whatever. His real name is Mark.
Yeah.
All right. I met him. I never met Devon Dudley. But anyway, I did meet Mark or Bubba Ray or Bully Ray or whatever when I used to work security with ROH in Pittsburgh when they were in Pittsburgh, and he was a trainer for ROH. He was training the wrestlers. His wife is Velvet Sky, his wife, and she was part of the announce team at that time when ROH was not owned by Tony Khan. It was owned by someone else at the time. And, but ROH nowadays is kind of a joke. It's just an undercard. It's just another under company of AEW, kind of like WWE. I mean, I'm not saying NXT is a joke. It's not a joke. But I'm saying ROH at this point is for like the Jay Lethals of the world who will never make it anywhere in the WWE or anywhere like that. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just they do the same thing kind of what WWE does. They go back and forth and have them wrestling in different groups and all that, All right. Last but not least, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. We saw the ending of that. Seth got the best of Roman again. We thought Roman had him. You and I were waiting to get on the air, and we thought Roman had him. And Seth thought smarter than him yet again.
Yeah, so, he does it every time. Some of these matches that we're going to see next Saturday and Sunday, they're actually going to be pretty good matches, unless...
the card is great for SummerSlam. Now, everyone listen up here, scheduling note. Friday night, the SmackDown show, it's going to be a combined effort. Actually, to be frankly honest with you, we shouldn't really even talk anything about SmackDown because it's just going to be a joke. Because of the SummerSlam. So But we'll find out because I'm going to tell you a little secret here, everyone, if you don't already know. They record the SmackDown and Raw the same night before a pay-per-view. Okay? So, when they had the SmackDown before the last pay-per-view, remember that? And that was taped. Okay? They always do that before the pay-per-views. They're not live. They're taped with the Raw. So Raw, if you buy tickets for Raw, you'll get SmackDown that night too. Okay?
Yeah.
Plus, don't forget they got this thing on Peacock or on their YouTube channel called Main Event. That's something WWE has that they have matches on. And they used to have that Speed Championship Wrestling on their X channel, but I think they got rid of it, you know. Oh, and they got WWE Radio now. Wow.
Yes, I know that. They got it on spot.
It's on satellite radio. Yeah.
Yes, Sirius FM.
Sirius, yeah.
Yeah. One day we'll be on there. One day, hopefully, we'll be on Sirius.
Yeah, I'd like to be on there too. But, you know,
that would be a trip.
Right now, I'll take the inch, and then sooner or later, one of these days in my lifetime, I'll get the mile for broadcasting. But not yet.
There you go.
I'm still at that inch. So
yeah, we'll do that later. But
yeah, I was at the bottom of the ladder. I'm in the middle of the ladder now. I need to get up the ladder. And
I just need to get up to about 250 on subscribers on my channel on Sports Break Media. You know.
Yeah, I'm trying to get up to 2,700, so I'm almost there on my YouTube channel.
I thought the night was, I would say, based out of 10, it was probably about a 5, maybe.
Yeah. I would. The Roman Reigns Rollins segment, the Obafemi Brock Lesnar segment, and the Sol Ruka and the match with Raquel Rodriguez and the Danhausen thing, that saved the whole show. Because if none of that happens, forget it. That show's done. If none of that happens, because the rest of it was bad.
Every year, like you said, every year that we do this, WrestleMania, the Crown, they don't have really good matches, like you said.
Before that, right?
Yeah, before that, and it's kind of like a stale.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know where, don't know where it's going to go. You know, like somebody lost the belt tonight. You know, so you don't know where the story is.
Exactly. Like Sol Ruka. I never thought she'd lose. For some strange reason, they keep keeping the Judgment Day going, and I wish they'd get rid of it. Do something with that. That's getting old. You know.
Yeah, I think they'll get the belts, and then something will happen. Like Danhausen will. I don't know what happened when they were in that room right there, but he said something. Danhausen said something about a ladder or something. Did you hear that?
Yeah, here's what's going to happen. Danhausen's fighting Dirty Dom. They turned, because of the events of tonight, they turned it into a ladder match. You have whoever climbs the ladder and gets the money that Danhausen stole from the Judgment Day, it's their money.
But
and they win the match.
There's something in that?
I think Danhausen will put some kind of something that'll spray in your face or something if Dom gets a hold of it. Don't worry. Danhausen got something going on, man. He Danhausen.
Yeah, what is going to happen to that? You never know.
You are cursed.
Cursed. Yeah, we're going to have to make some of that one because you will be cursed.
That's right. I'll tell you this. That's right.
You never know what's going to happen on these days.
No, that's it. All right, Brian, let's add some final thoughts here before I get into the announcements, and we're going to wrap the show up here because we don't have too much more to talk about here. So
yeah, we got things going on this week. Ralph's got his shows every day this week. We'll be on Friday night and probably Saturday morning, and then we'll do everything on Sunday.
Saturday morning we're going to be on our usual Sports Blast show, and then Saturday after SummerSlam night 1 we'll have a post show that we're going to do.
Yeah,
and then Sunday the same thing. We'll be on right after SummerSlam. Night 2 we'll have a post show. So just to let everyone know, scheduling more of the Ralph Report Wrestling Edition. Don't forget coming up, like I said, for SummerSlam post shows. We're not going to do the pre-show. Will be done Friday during the SmackDown post show. Probably not much to talk about anyhow, but we'll get into we'll break down all the matches. We'll get involved in what's going on. And then, as I mentioned, Saturday morning, as as follows, same schedule. Nothing will change for Saturday, except that we're going to be doing a post show after
Diaz says, honestly, at this point, WWE can't be saved.
Well, you know what, RM Dizzy, you make a good point there, and thank you for participating in the program. He was on Wednesday night with us on Steel City Sports World, and he comments quite often.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah, he does. Thank you. Appreciate it, RM Dizzy. But RM Dizzy's, you make a good point. WWE right now, they're losing people. Fans are not going to the events. I personally would not pay what they charge for front row seats for that nonsense that goes on. No. I wouldn't do it. I could if I want to, but I'm not, because I feel that it's a waste of my money. Why would I want to go spend $400 for a front row ticket there? To something that's going to be, I could sit at home and watch it. You know what I mean?
I could too.
I mean, why do I need that? I mean, why do I need to go through all that? And go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to piggyback off this. Yeah, I've heard the ranges of some of these big events that they do have, WrestleMania or the one that's coming up soon. They can't. I mean, for the rich guys who have money, it's all for them. I can't pay for $2,000 to take myself, for that kind of deal. It's just one of those things.
You'd have to take out a loan if you want to get good seats or whatever, Yeah. Yeah. See here, it says it's sloppy. The promos just don't hit. You got an interesting point there, Dizzle. I mean, you really do. I mean, you think about that for a second. I've been harping on that, and now that Scott D'Amore, the former executive for TNA, he just started his Canadian wrestling company. And guess who is he just started his Canadian wrestling company. So, I mean, Scott D'Amore, he's a former wrestler. He was in WWE for a little while. He was called the Blue Meanie back in the early 2000s. He was in TNA mostly, but he was once the executive for TNA. He was their general manager and executive vice president. And then Tommy Dreamer took over. Dreamer's gone, I hear. I don't know where he's going to go next, but I think he may be working with D'Amore. I don't know. And you got Memphis Wrestling out there now starting to prime up. You got that Ohio Valley. You got a lot of these wrestling companies starting to come around now. WWE is going to start losing its luster, and that kind of thing. And TNA's coming up, but even though they're for sale, you know what I mean.
Really.
So Dizzle says the same thing. It ends the same way every week. It's too much of this. I mean, I'd rather watch, to be honest with you, sometimes it gets boring. I'd rather watch AEW. At least they have wrestling. They don't spend all night doing this. You know what I mean?
Well, Ralph, when me and you and probably Diesel, I don't know how old he is, but think about when we used to have a match every time we turn around,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so back in the late 80s and 90s, every day was like, all right, this guy's going to wrestle this guy. This guy's going to wrestle. It was less talk, but more wrestling. But when they talked, it was wrestling too, The only
loyalists left for wrestling now, Brian, like Dizzy says, is that the only reason that some of the adults are getting into it now is because their kids and grandkids want to get involved. You see what I'm getting at? Nowadays, there's not too many people like you and myself. I watch wrestling faithfully. I've been following wrestling since I was 5 years old. I used to go to old Bruno Sammartino matches at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena. I used to see Ivan Putski. I used to see superstar Billy Graham, Haystacks Calhoun, Baron Miguel Cicluna, Georgie Animal Steel, Hulk Hogan, Jerry the King Lawler. I used to go to all those matches. I used to go to all those events. I've been there and done it. I mean, but, and that's why I'm still into it as I am right now in my 50s. I'm still in it. But you know what? And I don't have any kids, but I mean, I'm still in it. But I mean, I get your point, Dizzy. There are a lot of people out here. If you talk to people, and when I'm out in public and I talk to people and I tell them I do a wrestling show, you know what they tell me? I haven't watched a wrestling show since Hulk Hogan, or I haven't seen WWE or anything since Hulk Hogan. So, or Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Undertaker. because
been a long
back
time,
then
too.
that's when it was good. Now it's just, you know what I mean? It's just, it's really, and I hear a lot of that too, Dizzy. I really do. I mean that, and like my friend Claudio Rosano, he knows he used to know Bruno Sammartino, and he knows some guys that are in the wrestling business. But you know what? He'll tell you the same thing. I don't watch today's wrestling. I watched it when Hulk Hogan was around. I watched it when Roddy Piper was around. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'll tell you this, Ralph. I just started getting into it the last time that I actually watched. Like, I've been getting into it since I'm doing this now, but for what 5 since 2010 and 2017, I really didn't get back into it. It was
Right.
on and off. It was like, all right. But I knew who was actually in it. I knew Roman Reigns. I knew Stone Cold Steve Austin and all that. I knew who the big hitters were. But I just lost communication because I didn't have that kind of a willpower getting back.
The willpower to go, and the money too. Look at what
I didn't have any money,
just said here. You can go to an independent wrestling match, and they're very popular now because you know why? They're family friendly. The wrestlers come and talk to you. You pay what, $5 to get a picture with them, an autographed picture, maybe $10. It's very affordable. You can get in. It's $20 to get in, maybe 30 at the door. Free parking. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And the wrestlers are more sociable. And you got some of the guys who used to be in all the different wrestling companies in the indies. They call it the indies for short, independent wrestling. And I know a bunch of guys that own companies in Pittsburgh and whatnot. And, I know Corey Graves' father, Daniel Polinsky. He has a company called the Pros of Wrestling up in Pittsburgh, up in Western Pennsylvania. His son, Sam Adonis, is now called Austin Adonis, and he's with one of those new wrestling companies that just started up. He's a champion, by the way. And I just sent Pensman yesterday a video from YouTube of Austin and a picture because Sam Adonis was at an event that myself and Smoke and Jim were at in connection with Daniel Polinsky, which is Corey Graves' father. Mm-hmm. Fortunately for me, I haven't met Corey yet. I'm a little sore about a couple things with Corey because all the time that I helped his dad out, he couldn't come on my show, but he went on the local radio on some other. He went on some other media guy that used to be in Pittsburgh, Brian, and he kind of did what I did. He left Pittsburgh, but what he did was he stayed out of the media for a long time. All of a sudden, he starts creeping back up, and now he's part-time, and he does it when he feels like it, kind of thing online. He's not as steady as I am, even though I came back to media, but he's not as steady as I am. But, but he went on his show, but he wouldn't come on mine. And,
that's kind of strange.
I kind of got a little offended by that. You know what I mean?
Roger and Diesel said something.
Who? Who Dizzy?
Dizzy and
he said they're pushing the wrong wrestlers. They should be pushing the younger ones. Yeah, they should. Yeah, you're right. They should be, but they have to push them the right way, Dizzy. They can't just push them. They got to push them the right way. Give them opportunities. Working at any job, whether it's wrestling or your job, Brian, or any job that I ever had, no matter even if it's flipping burgers or bagging groceries, there's always somebody in there that's a backstabber, don't want to see you get ahead or anything like that. That's why you got to worry about yourself sometimes with stuff like that. And it's the same way in the wrestling business, and the media business too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The media can really, and we're in the media business.
Yeah,
but some of these guys stab you in the back, as we know.
Yeah, we know about that, don't we?
We know they will stab you in the back. They might be your friend.
I don't feel like going into that tonight, Brian.
Yeah, well, we know, but I'm just saying.
Because here's what's happening. I had a pretty good day for myself today, and I don't feel like being agitated by that.
No. Well, I'm just saying, in a complex of this too with wrestling, they'll stab you in the back too. I've
had enough of it. Well, yeah, it's like that all across the board now.
Yeah. Anybody will stab you in the back.
I'm going to make a small comment here that I know a lot of people are going to hate me for it, and I'll get a ton of emails about it. In this country nowadays, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
That's the way it is. Nobody cares because if you did, you would care about the fact that we have a bad economy. If you did, you would care about the fact that we have no job, or we have jobs out there that nobody wants to work, which means our country doesn't care. You see what I'm getting at now? Yeah. And if you cared, you get out there and work so that your future of Social Security doesn't get shut down, and my future and everyone else's future on Social Security in 2032, because we don't have enough money because nobody wants to work. See, that's, you know what I mean?
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
So
Diesel said, I've been
watching since 1989.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah,
Diesel, I'll tell you this.
That is.
Diesel, I'll tell you this, and Ralph, you've probably heard this. Diesel, I watched the first match. I was at the beach in this summer, and I actually watched Hulk Hogan beat Andre the Giant when it was the first match ever. And I was at the beach that time, and it was actually on a regular TV, and I actually watched that match.
Yeah, WrestleMania 3.
You know,
yeah, I remember that
WrestleMania 3.
3, yep.
So
all right, Brian, let's wrap it up here tonight. I know you got to work tomorrow, and I got things to do too, so I want to get off the air here a little bit. But I got some announcements for you. Wednesday, don't forget the doubleheader of Ralph Wednesday. We have the Ralph Williams Show, Philadelphia, WWDB 860 AM. Here it is.
You're muted.
Yeah, I know. 860 AM WWDB. Yeah. Don't forget to tune into that show, to my Ralph Williams Show. And then 7:30 every single Wednesday night, it's the Ralph's Opinion. Network. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our YouTube channels and all mine and all other social media platforms as well. Bret Hart was Dizzle's favorite wrestler. Yeah, mine was Bret. I like Bret Hart. I had a lot of favorite wrestlers back in my time. Mine was The Undertaker, and in WCW, I was a Sting fan. I like Sting.
I was too. I was a Sting fan.
Yeah,
and I was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I was a Steve Austin fan too. Yes, I was very much so. Yes. All right. I am. Here we go. Voljeff says Bray Wyatt was his. Yeah, Bray Wyatt was a good wrestler too. Thank you all for participating tonight. Appreciate it.
Hey, Ralph, do you want to give my little sense? Everybody.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
okay.
Brian.
Yeah, please subscribe.
Sports Break
Media.
Haven't subscribed,
if you haven't already, please subscribe to Sports Break Media on the YouTube channel. I do all kinds of reaction to all the sports. Just give me a heads up, if you subscribe, to say, hey, I subscribed to your channel 2 weeks ago or whatever. So I'm trying to get to 250. That is my goal for the next couple of weeks right now. Hopefully I can get to 250 by the end of this month, but it's not looking too well. But I'm going to try to get to